He spent all day yesterday with that Saudi prince. He just got a little murdery. It happens. You hang around with the wrong crowd. And then sweet little Caroline had to defend her boss calling a reporter piggy on his plane.
What did the president mean when he called a reporter piggy?
Look, the president is authentically himself. I think that's why millions of Americans across the country love him and support him, including Erica Kirk, who you saw so beautifully was on stage with the president.
Imagine the country arguing about politics while one man casually lines up a putt like it is just another relaxing afternoon. That was the scene when Donald Trump decided the golf course was apparently the place to be. Most people shrugged. Some people rolled their eyes. But Jimmy Kimmel saw something far more valuable: comedic gold. What followed was a brutal late-night roasting that had the audience howling. And somehow, Caroline Light ended up taking it very personally. So what joke turned a simple golf outing into a political firestorm? A strange thing happens in modern politics when the news cycle collides with late-night comedy.
Tough day for Trump, too. You know, he lost a whole hour of rage posting yesterday. This guy, I don't know what kind of magic cocoon the devil gave him when they made that deal, but somehow he manages to do everything wrong, just rolls right.
What begins as a routine headline can suddenly turn into a full-blown cultural spectacle. That is exactly what unfolded when Donald Trump was spotted doing something that on the surface seemed completely ordinary. While political debates raged, critics argued, and television panels dissected every possible angle of the moment, Trump was reportedly out on a golf course, calmly enjoying a round as if the chaos surrounding him was nothing more than background noise. However, what transformed this particular outing from a routine headline into a viral talking point was not the golf itself, but what happened after one late-night host decided the situation was simply too ironic to ignore. Enter Jimmy Kimmel, a man whose entire job revolves around spotting absurdity in the news and turning it into comedic gold.
Jimmy Kimmel's terrible. You know what suspended him? His talent. You know what else is really what? Take a look at this guy, his ratings. That's what got Jimmy Kimmel out. He was terrible. And didn't he lose? I saw a report where ABC lost millions.
When Kimmel opened his monologue and began dissecting the story, it quickly became clear that he had no intention of treating the moment with polite restraint. Instead, he leaned straight into the comedy of the situation, painting a picture that was both exaggerated and painfully recognizable to anyone who had been following the news. According to Kimmel's version of events, respectable, the audience immediately understood the joke, and the laughter rolled through the studio in waves. Kimmel leaned further into the bit, describing the scene as if the entire political world had been paused while one man calmly navigated a sand trap. The humor was not subtle, and it was not designed to be. What made the moment especially entertaining for viewers was the way Kimmel framed the larger irony. Now, in fairness, Trump golfing is not exactly a new development. For years, supporters have framed it as a harmless pastime, while critics have treated every swing of the club as proof of misplaced priorities.
Kai has some kind of a YouTube show, and he took her for a ride during a round of golf, and even there he couldn't stop tooting his own horn.
How has it been in the White House so far?
It's been great. Having a good time. We're doing a great job. I stopped 7 wars.
Yeah.
7. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Your taxes are coming down. See, everyone's happy, honey.
That's awesome.
He implied that political drama often reaches such an absurd level that it begins to resemble a comedy sketch even before comedians get involved. In that sense, the golf outing was less about sports and more about symbolism. However, while the studio audience clearly enjoyed the monologue, not everyone watching from outside the studio found it quite so amusing. Before long, reactions began pouring in from political commentators, social media personalities, and campaign figures who felt the jokes crossed the line from playful satire into outright ridicule. Among the loudest voices responding to the segment was Caroline targeting Trump with what she described as relentless mockery. From her perspective, the issue was not simply a comedian telling jokes, but a broader pattern in which political humor often seemed to flow in only one direction. She suggested that when Trump becomes the subject of late-night comedy, the tone often shifts from lighthearted teasing to something closer to political messaging.